A big warm welcome to the Becoming of Business, Bob for short. I'm your host, Linda Bjork, here to explore what the future of business holds. Where's the business world heading? How do we best prepare? Is business impacting evolution, or is it evolution that steers business? I've sat down with some of the most wise, brilliant, accomplished, and awesome people to hear their vision of a business world that will protect and enhance the evolution of humanity and what we need to do to get there. This dialogue series will launch April 3rd, 2024. Until then, please enjoy recordings from previous Becoming a Business panels from World Unity Week 2021. You'll find amazing insights and inspiration from best-selling author Dr. Robert Holden, Brigadier General Allison Solomon, Chief Dwaine Perry of the Ramapough Lunaape Indians, Fortune 100 CTO Stephanie Michko, former FBI executive Lauren C. Anderson. You see how many different people come together. So many more are here to share their wisdom. Let's listen in, lift our gaze in business, and become the kind of leaders that will make the future cheer for our contributions. Enjoy. You know, there's something absurd about what a large threat climate change is to the planet, and people are pretending or refusing to realize the threat. It's almost like we need to take a couple of steps back and understanding what is it in this dichotomy, in this clash between those who want to protect the planet and those who don't give a damn.
Ultimately, one of the things I think about is, well, let's say a recovering Earth conqueror, having spent the better part of 3 decades as a serial entrepreneur and running business in the area of real estate development, investment banking. And as we know, there's nothing quite more intrusive on the land than development and all that entails, and all the depletion of resources that brings. But it also, I think, speaks to really a paradigm that has run its course, a paradigm of business that really speaks to tapping and depleting those resources, and also to really creating greater carbon imprint on the planet. But when I look at existential threats like climate change, and it is the elephant in the living room. Let's just make no mistake about it. And business is starting to really tune into this as a threat to not only their companies, but also to their people and their resources of what really is their greatest assets. And so obviously we're here to create more movement and velocity for that attunement. But what is the meeting place for those of us that are really strong advocates for the planet? And those of us that are either conservationist or environmentalist, we hold the deeper indigenous wisdom of Mother Earth and whatnot. And I believe that meeting place is to offer and put forth ideas that really speak to the existential opportunity.
Now, Chief Dwaine Perry, you are the chief of the Ramapough Lunaape Indians here in New York, New Jersey. What would you like to bring into this space and the wisdom that you see from indigenous viewpoints, and also frustration that could possibly help us understand and help us see more clearly what should be coming next on the horizon?
I believe that we should concretely get together and ask for a constitutional amendment to say that water is a human right, and that all rights that belong to human beings should be extended to water, just as an initial process, because truly without water, there will be no life. I don't think it would be that hard with the right affects to make this a constitutional amendment. So number one, that would set a legal stage and precedent for the entire country, if not the world. I'm sure many people at the UN would love to hear that. I think as we go forward from there, And like I said, a lot of it really, I think, hinges on legality. For instance, right now we're concerned about racism and et cetera, but the fact is, it particularly goes to more of the southern nations like in South America and Africa, um, a great many benefits to the entire world has come from the pharmaceutical company. But how many of those have transferred is simply this: I go and set with your medicine people. I steal your intellectual property. I bring it to New York. I make billions. You never return a dollar to the people that gave it to you, but you did manage to turn them into witch doctors with bones in their nose, or crazy people waving feathers at the sun all the time. So I'm saying the dichotomy there is, I think we can start out by making it very clear that there needs to be a moral sense and obligation to the people that we've taken it from. If you can't make a moral imperative out of making money and making self-worth an initiative, we're not going to make any headway. It's really that simple. People are not going to respect you.
I did want to just echo one thing that you were saying, that Owl from your tribe was saying the other day, that we're actually changing the preposition for water. It's not the right to water, it's the right of water. Right. That we are really looking at changing.
What I have personally found in my own kind of evolutionary relationship with Earth, Mother Earth, and all her resources is just that, coming into a better relationship with these natural resources. So it becomes something that doesn't feel so good to pillage. And I'm not making an accusation here or pointing the finger in any way, but the idea of being in relationship in all of our relationships is really, I think, an invitation that we can offer to business and business leaders. And in this particular case, as it relates to water, I would be a strong advocate of making simple revisions to how businesses keep their balance sheet, for example. And their balance sheets are very related to something. They have an item called goodwill. So let's have goodwill towards Mother Earth. Let's have goodwill towards water resources where they can enhance their balance sheet by being water stewards.
Business has been, for a number of different decades now, singularly focused on one bottom line, right? On the profitability of the stakeholders. And the system is designed that way, has been designed that way, right? Wall Street is about quarterly earnings and expectations and what that does to the organization. And then senior leadership is rewarded based on meeting those expectations. So, human behavior is a result of consequence or reward. The idea is to highlight the folks that are doing it right, the folks that are doing it, that are being human about it, that see the incentive of treating the planet better, and then let the paradigm shift in that direction, so that those folks and those organizations are the ones that are getting those disruptors, those innovators, transformers are the ones that are being highlighted in the larger scope of the media market, because that's what everybody listens to, and even Wall Street. And those folks and then other organizations want to either follow that because the customer base is starting to move in that direction. And I think all of that is happening, right? I think if you look closely, if you take a moment in time, these shifts are happening, and these, recession, a pandemic, social unrest, what they do is they accelerate things that were already in occurrence, right? And so both good and bad. And I think we are in that moment where that shift is occurring. I mean, I'm certainly a much more empathetic human leader in my organization, in my pocket of jurisdiction that I have, right? Be it global or regional. And then people yearn for that, right? And then executives, to the chief's point, the people that have the capital to make the moves, the good ones, the progressive ones, will note that and then drive that forward, right, for the betterment of their organization. As you were speaking about early, Linda, at the beginning of the conversation, is this battle between people that believe that climate change is a significant issue to be dealt with and people that don't. And I don't know if it's that people don't believe that it's a significant issue as much as people are scared, right? There's either fear or love, right? Every decision can be down to fear or love. And people fear that a change or a tweak will affect them negatively.
What very often happens is that those who are the loudest on each side are the extremists. And so then you have those who are on the environmental side, completely against anything modern. And then you have those who really on the other side couldn't give a damn, and they want all regulations out the window, right?
Right.
And
so,
here's where we need to find that alternative.
So what happens is organizations and people in general won't do something until they're either forced, like, most people, doctors will tell you, people will not get in shape until the doctor says you will die if you don't do X. Things don't change until the people that aren't directly affected by something care as much or more than the people that are directly affected by it.
I didn't want to talk about the planet without shifting the perspective from the planet and talk more about the planet from a planetary perspective, if you will.
What I want to say about the astrology, for one thing, the planet Neptune that rules water. Neptune is the planet of the invisible and the unseen, and it rules anything like that you can't see with the naked eye: imagination, inspiration, music. Neptune rules the sign Pisces, and Neptune is in Pisces. Pisces is water. So when Neptune entered Pisces, I don't have the exact date, I think it was around the time of Katrina, the astrologers started calling it wounded water, issue of wounded water. Now, Pisces is at now, currently today, 20 degrees of Neptune is at 20 degrees of Pisces, so the degrees only go up to 29. So this issue is growing, and it seems to me that in a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years, I don't have the ephemeris in front of me, Neptune will leave Pisces, and I think there will be more solutions and more businesses embracing this. Because as a planet leaves, it's done its work, to make the issue, to bring the issue up. But right now, astrologically, this is an unprecedented time. And the astrologers have been talking for years about January 12th, 2020, not that particular day, but this whole January, February period, there will be a global crisis. And Saturn and Pluto, 2 heavy planets. The planets don't cause things. They expose what's already there. Like Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, transformation, went into Capricorn 2008 and the market crashed. Pluto didn't cause that. It rules, it was in Capricorn, business, banking, and so forth, institutions. It exposed the lies and the corruption. So the planets are not up there trying to beat the crap out of us. They're trying to awaken us. And Saturn and Pluto came together in January, and they're traveling together now. This is an unprecedented time. What we're seeing this whole year and next year is a crisis. But, it can also be part of a master plan. People are waking up, not everybody. I think I feel like we're all in recovery right now.
A very basic thing that we've overridden here that's changed in the last 25 years is education. There used to be civics. There used to be some teaching of self-worth. We've done a paradigm change from self-worth to how much can you make. And I think one of the things we need to do, since business also runs on education and like you said, the technology and et cetera, we need to reevaluate what are we doing with education. Are we teaching our children that human beings have worth? Or are we teaching them that if you don't have money, you don't count?
Thank you for listening, and thank you for being part of creating a business world that deserves to live up to its full potential. Make sure to like, subscribe, put as favorite, mark your calendar, put a note on the fridge, whatever you need to do to remember to check back on April 3rd, 2024 to catch new episodes of Bob Dialogues airing on Wednesdays. You'll find the full-length episodes of these Bob panels from World Unity Week at thebecomingofbusiness.com. And if making a big impact as a leader is your thing, check out lindabjork.org. Until we meet again, much love.